that the various expenditure components had amounts that were at variance with the supporting schedules or ledgers as detailed in the table which is shown in the report. Consequently, the accuracy and completeness of the use of goods and services amount of 28,068,595 could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair. That is issue 2 and 3.
Very well. Her Excellency, you can respond to the 3 queries.
Thank you, Chair. For the first query, we'll take it in bits. So for one, on Chair, we agree with the auditor's finding that the financial statements reflect comparative balances which differ with corresponding balances reflected in the prior year. We wish to clarify that Kenya shillings 543,663,693.68 was the closing balance as at 30th June 2022, as supported by the Certificate of Bank Balances and Bank Statement. Appendix 1.1 is a Certificate of Bank Balance and Bank Statement. The surplus deficit for the year has since been amended in the financial reporting template. Then 2 under 1, or is it, how do I say that? Query 1 still, number 2, or let's say B. Okay, 2, on Chair, we agree with the auditor's findings that the statement of changes in net assets reflect nil funds received during the year, while the revenue schedule of funds received from World Bank during the year under review reflected that an amount of 25,568,458.20 cents. The management has regretted the anomaly and has since corrected the error in the financial statements under statement of changes in net assets for the year ended June 30th, 2024, on page 4 of the reporting template. 3 of audit query 1. On Chair, we agree, or page 5. On Chair, we agree with the auditor's findings on property, plant and equipment, the PPE and intangible assets amounting to 414,124,981, and in note 24 of the financial statements reflected on an amount of 467,059,955, which represents development projects of 52,433,511.52 cents, which was the development expenditure on equitable share. Additionally, it's good to clarify that the financial reporting template did not have corresponding notes on statements of cash flow as guided by the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board. Number 4 of 1, page 6. On Chair, we agree with the auditor's findings on errors found in the budget. Kenya shillings 126,657,680.79 cents represents payment by county on behalf of the entity of Kenya shillings 95,757,955.92 cents, and conditional development grants of Kenya shillings 25,568,458.20 cents, and interest income of 5,331,266.67 cents. The amount of 509,882,937 is total expenditure, which comprises of equitable share and urban development grant expenditure. The management has regretted the anomaly and has since corrected the error in the financial statement and the statement of comparison of budget and actual amounts for the year ended June 30th, 2024, on page 6 of the reporting template. Now, audit query number 2. Honorable Chair, we would like to clarify that during the audit, management submitted the trial balance to assist in verifying the accuracy of the ledgers, and it was duly accepted. It's Appendix 2, the trial balance. Page 9, which is audit query number 3. Honorable Chair, the management provided all ledger schedules to the auditor at time of audit. That's on page 9. I think we stopped there.
Yeah. Auditor, what is your comments on the management responses for the 3 queries?
Thank you, Chair. On the issue of inaccuracies of the financial statements, we wish to state that the responses are not satisfactory, since the financial statements had already been certified and a report issued. So the explanations and support documentation were provided after. Chair, we can only be able to confirm this when we are carrying out the audit of the subsequent financial year, because it will require that the financial statements for 2023-2024 be restated. So, Chair, with your permission, we can verify that when we are doing the current audit for 30th June 2025. So that is why, Chair, we have said the status is not sufficiently addressed. For the issue of failure to prepare the trial balance, Chair, the trial balance was provided after the audit and was not provided during the audit. That is why the issue was raised. Again, Chair, because this will go hand in hand with the statement of the financial statement, then that can be confirmed when we are doing the audit for 30th June 2025. And Chair, the same applies to the variance between the financial statements and the ledgers, specifically for the use of goods and services expenditure component. Chair, the ledgers were provided but had variances as raised in our audit report. And again, Chair, because this has an implication on the restatement of the financial statements, this can also be addressed when we are carrying out the audit of the subsequent year. Thank you, Chair.
So maybe before you stop, can you respond to the response on query 2 and 3, that you were provided with the trial balance during the audit, and you are also provided with the ledger schedules during the audit?
Chair, for query number 2 on the trial balance, Chair, that was not provided during the audit. Query number 3, as I stated, Chair, the ledgers were provided but had variances which were not addressed as at the time of the report. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, maybe Governor, if you have further comments.
Yes, I'll have the city manager kindly address that.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. We provided the document that is on, we submitted to the Office of the Auditor General on 19th December 2024 with a forwarding letter, and here we have the evidence received and a stamp from the Auditor General Office. So during the 19th of December, and the auditing was going up to that day, to 31st December. And here we have the evidence that we submitted.
So whose word can we take as a committee? Because the auditor says never provided. You said it was. Auditor, maybe Mark, you can respond to this. I thought you always have documents that you exchange among yourself, and there is an exit meeting.
Yes, thank you, Chair. On behalf of the Auditor General, is that the process of audit, as enumerated in Section 31 of the Public Audit Act, at the beginning of every audit, Chair, we do undertake or do issue a letter of understanding, which, of course, tells the client these are the documents that we'll be requiring as we begin the audit. And before we even start the audit, we have an entry meeting. And in the entry meeting, we plan and agree that these are the timelines within which we intend to undertake our audit. And we agree that these are the documents that we shall provide. In the course of the audit, Chair, we keep requesting for these documents. And at the end of the meeting, at the end of the audit, Chair, we do have the exit meeting where we request these documents even further. After that, Chair, we do what is called a management letter, where we enumerate some of the issues that we have not been able to agree on during the exit, and further give the client additional time to respond or to give the documents required. Chair, if those are not provided, we then do what is called a draft report. Chair, draft report basically shows these are the issues that are going to the report, and if there's any documentation that you need to provide, then provide it at this time. And if you do that, then so the issues are considered addressed. When that fails, Chair, that's when that issue now appears in the audit report. Chair, I wish to point out that in this case, even though the documents may have been provided on the 19th, it's very likely, Chair, that the audit had already concluded by then. And if they had received this draft report and the ML, then if they had provided these documents at that time, then it would have been within the timelines and would have been able to address this issue. So, Chair, 19th may have been the date provided, but maybe by then, the certificate had been issued or the audit had been concluded. So maybe my colleague from the Nakuru County can confirm on that. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. I wish to confirm that by the time these documents were being provided, the audit process had concluded and submissions made to the Auditor General for issuance of the report. Thank you, Chair.
I think, the both parties, you need to ensure that all the documents that are required are available so that when you come before the Senate, it doesn't look like a back and forth thing. Yeah, because the timelines are very clear in law. The Public Audit Act is very clear on when the process should start and when the process should end. So I now invite the members. I can see Senator Mbogwa, but before you come in, there are two members who have joined us. Can you put yourself on record?
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Senator Chimera, Senator from Kwale County, member of this committee.
Good morning, Chair, with the committee members. Good morning, Governor, together with your team. Eddie Gisheru Okech is my name, Senator Migori County, Vice Chair to this committee.
Okay, Senator Mbogwa.
Thank you, Chair. Governor, when you come here, we expect to be discussing serious issues, but you are being put here to answer some very minor questions of errors and inaccuracies. I know the city manager is a person well known to me and I know his competence, but we are doubting the competence of your accountants. We don't want to know the accountants of this city because these errors surely are not the issues the governor should be addressing. Nakuru is the fourth city and we should be discussing major issues. Maybe we want to know, is the accountant who prepared these accounts here?
The records, auditor, who signed the financial statements?
Chair, the name is CPA Mary Kagonya, East Park member number 12447. Thank you, Chair.
Can you check the status of Mary in East Park? Mary, you are here. Mary Kagonya, ISPAC member number 12447. Membership status active, status in good standing. So everything is very good for you, but now maybe you can explain to this committee what happened, these errors and omissions. Is something we don't take easy.
Honorable Chair, Your Excellency, Madam, and all members, perhaps I would clarify a little bit. When the audit took place, as the city manager said, we presented everything. It was such a short notice of audit. I think it took like 1 or 2 days. And then from there, we didn't get any other response from the auditors other than the report. But we did submit everything that was required from us.
Are you the one who did the financial statement?
Yes,
or you
me.
were just called to come and sign?
No, I did it myself.
You did it?
Yes.
Bogo, are you through with your questions? Proceed.
You see, the OAG, you've heard what the accountant has said. Maybe you need to respond because they are actually accusing you of not being maybe supportive and accommodative.
Chair, I wish to point out that the letter, management letter, was issued on 13th of December 2024. So it is not correct that there was no correspondence between us and the entity. That email contained the documents that we required. It also contained the issues which we requested for them to respond. So, Chair, if the committee allows, we can confirm that the email was actually issued on 13th of December for their response. Thank you, Chair.
Because they are saying it just took, I think they are saying 2 days. What was the duration of the audit period?
Chair, unless my colleague can correspond to that, but I wish to negate what she said earlier, that there was no correspondence between us and them, that there was even an email, and I'm sure there was a letter of understanding before the commencement of the audit in line with Section 31 of the Public Audit Act. Thank you, Chair.
Chair.
Yes, Senator Chimeta.
You know, Chair, this is an accountant who, from the look of her presentation, and if I look at her demeanor, Chair, she firmly and truly believes in her statements as she provided. But then again, our stakeholder, Mark, here has taken us through a very elaborate process on how they do the audit process. I just want to understand, Mark, when you are corresponding to the entities or your clients, is there anywhere where perhaps the client signs that they've received the email, they've received the correspondence, so that what she's trying to say, because now it appears it's your word against theirs, we have no document to really show that indeed, she's actually saying you did it for 2 days, and I want to be, having worked in the public sector before, 2 days really you can't provide all these documents. That's why you see your queries are on late submission of documents. So if she's truly saying that you did 2 days, we want to be told by you guys on evidentiary issues that indeed it never took 2 days and that you communicated to the accountant. I don't know if the letter was addressed to whom. Did she have a chance to interact with the letter so that she can present her statements? As it is, Chair, we cannot sit here and ascertain the true and factual financial position of Nakuru City as we see today, Chair. So we need to clarify, is it an oversight on the part of OAG or is it the accountant side, Chair? Thank you.
You see, OAG is not under trial. They are a part of us. They are a part of our support team. The law is very clear. If you read the Public Audit Act, it is very clear on time frames, when the audit will start and when it will end. And there are several steps, which ends with an exit meeting, a draft management letter, and an exit meeting. So if those steps are followed by the client, then it will not generate into a query. And I want to agree with the auditor that once an audit report has been published, it is final. It cannot be reopened. Even us sitting here, we cannot reopen the report. So the report was done, the query was put there. I think what we can only get the team from the city is that please take the audit process very seriously. Because these kind of problems are not unique to Nakuru. We have seen other counties that appear before us. And I think it's because the audit process is never taken seriously by the accountants. They give the financial statements and they leave the auditor to struggle on his own. And I think that is what may have happened in this case. So please take the audit process very, very seriously. And that is provided for in PFM, I think section 180, 184. The accounting officers, you must take this process very seriously. That's where the problem is. Why we are keen about which accountant was involved is because we have taken a position as a committee that if we get audit queries of this nature, actually the blame will be on the accountants. And we have said moving forward, we will even communicate with the ISPAC about the whole issue. Because these are issues that can be avoided. I mean, issues like simple errors in the financial statements, omissions, or non-submission of documents at all. It is a professional issue. So, Madam Mary, members are very concerned about this, and you can't push the blame to the auditor. Because I'm sure if we ask Mark to give the evidence, he will give the evidence that this communication was made, this meeting was done. Mark?
Thank you, Chair. Mine was just to respond to the concerns by the Honorable Senator Chimera on the issue of documentation. And I wish to confirm to you, Senator, and this committee that every process is documented. There's a letter of understanding and stamped the date it was received. There's an exit meeting, there are even minutes to that meeting indicating who was in attendance and even the issues discussed and the date and the signings, of course, between the two parties. Eventually, there's an ML. It is also stamped the date it was received and even the draft reference. So all that, Chair, is documented. The whole process is documented. I thought I should state that for the record, Chair. Thank you.
Yeah. So I think, is any other issue, members, on this? So may I direct that the CEC, Finance, you are the main person. Please sit down with your team, because even the other reports, we have a similar issues of inaccuracies, and ensure that this does not recur again. And number two, I hope you are going to make the necessary journal entries in 2024-2025 financial year to rectify this anomaly. And the auditor, you will come back to us to advise us on these journal entries. So, honorable members, I believe now at that point we can proceed. But before we do that, Senator Hamida, please put yourself on record.
Thank you, Chair. Welcome, Excellency. Good to see you. My name is Senator Hamida Kivana, a member of this committee. My apologies, I was doing my exams. Thank you.
Okay. So, honorable members, let's proceed to the query on unaccounted for domestic travel and subsistency.
Thank you, Chair. The statement of financial performance for the year ended 30th June 2024 reflects use of goods and services amount of 28,068,000 595, which includes domestic travel and subsistence amount of 9,740,600, as disclosed in Note 12 to the financial statements. Review of records provided revealed the following anomalies. 1, the city does not make use of the recommended imprest system to issue employees with per diems for travel and subsistence allowance. Instead, the various officers raised claims for reimbursements after they travel. This is contrary to Regulation 93(1) of the Public Finance Management County Government's Regulations of 2015. Number 2, amounts of 280,000, 203,000, and 700,000 were paid to staff from the Nakuru County Executive, Kenya Commercial Bank Limited, and Nakuru County Mobilization Imprest account, respectively. However, the amounts were not supported with imprest warrants, list of beneficiaries for the amount paid to the bank and the Nakuru County Mobilization, amount of imprest issued per officer, and why the payments were made to Nakuru County staff and the bank. The various imprests or advances to the staff were not recorded in the imprest register or in the imprest warrants, and the surrender of the imprest were not provided for audit verification. This is contrary to Section 93(4)(c) of the Public Finance Management County Government's Regulations of 2015. Number 3, the expenditure of 9,740,600 was not supported by way of daily attendance registers, work tickets, programs, and back to office reports where applicable. Consequently, the propriety of the domestic travel and subsistence amount of 9,740,600 could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair.
Very well. Governor, your response?
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Chair, Nakuru City Board follows the recommended imprest system. However, staff members often request their per diem payment immediately after completing their work assignments. On Chair, Nakuru City Board did not pay an imprest, but made a contribution to the Nakuru County Mobilization Imprest account towards the valuation of the county assets to which the City Board of Nakuru is a beneficiary. This is supported by the authority letter attached, that's Appendix 4.2 and Appendix 4.2.1, which is the payment voucher, KCP. Honorable Chair, the Nakuru City Board maintains an imprest register, and staff members request payment of their per diems upon returning from their work assignments. The payment vouchers were presented and approved during the audit process. Sample of payment vouchers have since been availed to the auditor for further verification. Appendix 4.4.4.
Auditor, your comments on the response?
Thank you, Chair. We received the response and verified the documentation provided. Chair, only query number 1 remains outstanding, and therefore the issue is partially addressed. Thank you, Chair.
But one which is on the issue of the policy.
Yes, Chair.
Honorable members, your comments or questions? Yes.
Maybe we can ask the CC through the governor, why are they not making use of the recommended procedure? What is so unique about Nakuru County? This Nakuru City. Why are you not following? I mean, why do you want an audit to be raised, a query to be raised, instead of following the laid down procedures? Just that.
Yeah, and also, is it possible that this could inconvenience the staff? But you can imagine if you were to travel out of the country without money, and then you come back and claim. How does it work out? Governor.
Thank you, Chair. I'll have the CC Finance. Or the city manager first and then the CC Finance, sorry.
City manager?
Yeah, point of clarification, anytime you have a foreign trip, that is always facilitated prior. In this case, there is maybe when you have some local travel, the history is that sometimes we've been paying members, but some maybe have apologies, they don't go. Surcharging become a process of recovering that money. So it is easier for staff to travel, then come back and request for the per diem. But if at all you are not in a position to do that, you raise it with the finance and they are able to facilitate.
CC Finance.
Thank you, Chair. We always issue guidelines to department on how to adhere within the law and the regulations, and the city manager is the accounting officer for the entity. So we should be able to work within the guidelines.
Yeah, because you know that's your local convenient way of doing things. But the law under Regulation 93 of the PFM requires that the impress be done before travel. So I think the issue here the auditor is raising is a non-compliance to the regulation, and it will always continue being an issue as long as the regulation stands.
Thank you, Chair. I'm guided. Going forward, we'll ensure that we issue impress prior to the trips. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other issue? Senator Hamida?
Just a small one. I think I realize maybe the documents are not provided at the time of audit. Maybe one that could have been the problem. Then number two, you know how the valuation reports could not be paid by each entity.
Yeah, we provided the document to the auditor, and he has confirmed that they were provided. It's only that issue of the payment of the allowances by the procedure that was an issue, and we are guided, and going forward we are going to comply. Thank you.
Chair.
Yes.
Chair, I'm struggling to understand the second query, or query 4B. Chair, the OAG.
I thought that one OAG said is cleared.
I just need some clarity on something before
okay.
they clear. The amounts of 280, 203, and 700,000 shillings, Chair. And it's the OAG's wording that says these amounts were paid to staff. That would indicate there was a payment to staff, isn't it, from your wording? But Governor, again, in her response, she says it was a contribution to the Nakuru County Mobilization Interest Account, isn't it? If I look at the annexure 4.2, there is nowhere in that annexure that makes reference to an amount of 280,000 and 203,000. There I can see several 700,000 shillings. So I'm struggling to understand, indeed, were there interest payments made to staff consequent to the contribution to the county government or not? Just that. That's the clarity I'm seeking, Chair.
Auditor?
Chair, the payments of 280,000 and 233 280,000 and 203,000 Chair were paid to staff as interest, and we have seen that documentation and confirmed. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. So, honorable members, unless there is any further query, let's proceed to the next query. Query number 5.
Auditor. Thank you, Chair. The query is on unsupported advance payments towards construction of Afraha Stadium. The statement of financial position reflects property, plant, and equipment balance of 467,059,955. Review of records revealed that included in the property, plant, and equipment balance of 467,059,955 is an advance payment of 19 million paid to a supplier for the supply, delivery, and installment of prefabricated athletics all-weather synthetic tartan track system of the Afraha Stadium. Part 4 of the contract agreement between the contractor and Nakuru County Government dated 29th June 2023 stipulates payments shall be as follows. 20% of the total contract amount as an advance payment against receipt of invoice, irrevocable letter of credit, import declaration form, bill of lading and warranty from manufacturer. Number 2, total supply cost of prefabricated rubber track system and athletic equipment with 100% recovery of the advance payment upon delivery, inspection, and acceptance. Review of interim payment certificate number 1 being advance payment for supply, delivery, and installation of prefabricated athletic all-weather tartan system for Afraha Stadium, revealed that the city of Nakuru made an advance payment of 19 million. However, the payments were not supported with evidence of receipt of invoice, irrevocable letter of credit, import declaration form, bill of lading, COC, and warranty from manufacturer as stipulated in the contract agreement. There was also no certificate from the Department of Public Works or Inspection and Acceptance Committee citing the works done or any utilization of the advance payments. Consequently, the propriety of the advance payment of 19 million could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Governor, your management response.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Chair, we agree with the auditor's finding on the unsupported expenditure for the construction of Afraha Stadium. The City Board recovered the advance payment by not paying the total contract sum. The advance payment of 19 million was fully recovered as per the engineer's certificate and other shipment documents hereby attached. Appendix 5A, the import declaration form. Appendix 5B, the bill of landing. Appendix 5C, irrevocable letter of credit. Appendix 5D, COC and warranty from manufacturer. Appendix 5E, certificate of origin. Appendix 5F, certificate from Department of Public Works. And Appendix 5G, inspection and acceptance committee.
Auditor, your comments on the response.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, the response is partially satisfactory. The irrevocable letter of credit, import declaration form, bill of landing, and COC and warranty from manufacturer were provided. However, Chair, the response that we verified did not have a certificate from the Department of Public Works and the acceptance, inspection and acceptance committee citing the works done or utilization of the advance payments. So, Chair, this issue is partially addressed. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, your further comments following that response from the auditor?
Sure, Chair. I'll have the city manager address that, please.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. The two items that have been referred to by the auditor are herein attached, and they will stipulate the recovery of the 19 million and also the committee that inspected.
Where they are?
So we have the certificate from the Public Works. Public Works, that is the Appendix 5. It is listed there. And there is that item 12 in that certificate. It's talked about the recovery of the advance payments done, the 19 million. And also the Appendix G. This one will give the committee, the inspection and acceptance committee for the tender in question. So it is attached as the Appendix G. The two documents are here.
Auditor, can you confirm you have those additional documents?
Chair, the document I have is up to Appendix 5E, the certificate of origin. So I don't have Appendix 5F and 5G. Thank you, Chair.
I have 5G myself. I have 5G, the Inspection and Acceptance Committee. I also have F. Don't know, members, can you confirm you have those documents? So you don't have. I think in the members' file we have the documents.
Chair, the document I have was received on 14th July.
So maybe, yes, manager, it means you sneaked in this after you had given the auditor his copy. In the members' file, we have the documents.
Chair, probably there was a filing error on the document that went to the auditor.
Chair,
Yes.
you know the auditor is not verified, so maybe you need to give the auditor time to check it, because it's been given now, so I don't think it is, we will be fair to him.
Yeah. And you see, this is a matter of
Not
not providing documents during the audit.
Yes.
The documents were there, but why didn't you provide them, manager, through the governor? Why didn't you provide these documents during the audit?
Chair, this will take us back to the first question where we provided on 19th, the copy that we attached and we sent through the email on 19th has all this document. It's only that the copy that we shared with the auditors, we updated it. Like, we just went through it when we are preparing to appear before the assembly committee in the county assembly. So that could be the issue. We apologize.
Senator Eddie?
Chair, I just want to be sure that we are looking at the same documents. Appendix 5F. That is page 41, certificate from Department of Public Works. Is that your citation?
Yeah.
Governor?
So there was that question on the recovery of the 19.
No, just answer the question.
Okay.
Is that your citation?
Yeah, sure.
At appendix
Sure.
5X?
Yes.
5F?
Yes.
Certificate from Department of Public Works.
Yes.
Let's go to appendix 5F. Can you refer me to appendix 5F? Can you see appendix 5F?
Yes.
Is that a certificate from Department of Public Works? Because it looks to me like a BQ.
No,
Unless I'm not sure about reading.
this is a certificate evaluation number 4 from the Public Works.
No, but I'm looking at appendix 5F. Because your citations must marry, your certification must be married to your documentation.
I refer you to the project supervisor there down, signed on 26th 26th March 2024. It shows that this is the works done, and this is the valuation number 4. So this is the payment certificate that we used to pay.
Maybe Chair, we can get a sample certificate of what?
My friend,
we can
do
compare.
you know certificate of
Committee. Appendix 5F.
It's a valuation of a BQ.
Chair, as the Honorable Senator has rightfully said, this appears to be a BQ and may not fit the description of a certificate unless there's some other attachments, Chair, which are missing. Thank you, Chair.
Manager, through the governor, please respond. Is that a BQ or a certificate?
Chair, through my governor, this is a certificate that we get from the public works. But as the auditor say, there are other documents that would have maybe attached. For example, if you look at item, if at all is a BQ could not be lessing. Look at item 12. We are lessing the advance payment. Then we have the interim payment number, certificate number 2 that are being referred to. They are down in item 13 and 14. Meaning this is the payment certificate that we use. If at all it was a BQ, the BQ doesn't have the less advance or something of the sort.
We are trying to ascertain the 19 million, the payment of 19 million.
Yeah, Chair, may I just finish my thought process?
Right.
There was a thought process that was going on here before I got interjected. If your argument on the lesson that you're showing at 12, right? So then it is if you look at Appendix G, because if you are less in this 12, 13, 14, there are two things that must come in. The inspection and acceptance committee must then sign to prove that this was a premonition certificate, a premonition documentation to the certificate. So if you go to the Appendix G, is it signed by the contract completion? Where are the due dates here? Look at the due dates for the contract completion and delivery. Due date is not indicated. So then in that case, I just assume that these guys just signed for the sake of signing. Actual completion date not there. Where those things are not indicated, then it goes without saying that acceptance committee must then give us the minutes for the meeting. Do you have those minutes? Because that is what justifies this document that you're calling certificate, which is not.
Yeah, through the chair, I agree that there are other documents, if we are requested to submit, we can submit to support other activities or other entries that were done toward this certificate. We have the letter that I appointed the committee. Then this is just a report that we attached because that's what the auditor raised as a missing certificate, as a missing document. But we have other attachment. Even for this certificate, you can see the evaluation report and everything. We can be able to provide that.
Auditor, is this what you requested for? And is this how you would qualify the Appendix F for certification? Without the inspection and assessment committee being duly dated and then subsequent minutes for that meeting.
Chair, this is the reason why we marked this issue as partially addressed, because we had not received this particular documentation, and we have not been able to verify as per the audit query. So, Chair, maybe with your guidance, we can be able to look at the documents and give our submission. Thank you, Chair.
Proceed.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe through you, Chair, is for the municipal manager to confirm who comes in first, the project supervisor and then the acceptance committee, or is it the acceptance committee that accepts and then the project supervisor signs? The reason for that, Chair, is because Appendix F, project supervisor signed on the 26th of March, and then the acceptance committee on Appendix G signed dated 25th September 2023.
So the acceptance is on 25th September 2023.
Yes.
But the payment will be done in 2024 March.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think for us to make progress, I request that since you have all the documents that the auditor required, we'll ask the auditor to go and verify all the originals of all the documents, including the minutes of the committee and all the documents that you had asked. And then you do a report to us on this issue, I think in 14 days. So, manager, please make sure you provide the auditor with all the original documents for verification that he wants, including the minutes.
Guided, sir.
And also note that it's an offense to submit documents after the audit.
Guided.
Yeah, I think I will even ask the legal to read out the particular section of the Public Audit Act.
With your kind permission, Chair, let me read out section 47 and 62. And section 47 is on the time limit for submission of accounts. And under this section, all the financial statements that are required under PFM, under the Constitution and any other legislation are supposed to be submitted to the Auditor General within 3 months after the end of the fiscal year to which the accounts relate. And then section 62, through you, Chair, is on the offenses. And I'll read subsection 1 and subsection 2. And this is how it reads, that a person shall not, and the relevant paragraphs is paragraph B and C, without justification fail to provide information required under this Act. C, without justification fail to provide information within reasonable time that is required under this Act. And the penalty under subsection 2 is that a person who contravenes subsection 1 commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding 5 million shillings or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 years or to both. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, that's what the law says. So next time you come here without with the same issue, I think we may apply that piece of legislation. So always ensure the documents are given within the audit period.
Thank you, Chair. Guided.
Not outside the audit period. So, honorable members, in our pre-meeting, we agreed that all the other queries the query on failure to develop and implement Nakuru City Integrated Development Plan all the way to the issue of appointment independence of the city. So members, I invite you to ask questions or clarification on the matter of independence. Pardon? All those queries I've mentioned. So maybe let's start with the board governor. There is a query on appointment of the chairperson of the board and also the composition of the board. The auditor has indicated these two matters have been addressed, but just shed light on existence of this board.
Oh, thank you, Chair and members. We have delegated some functions to the board, to the City Board of Nakuru, and also seconded some staff to them to help in their work. I believe at the time of the audit, the board may not have been fully constituted because some members' time had run out. But we have since recruited and gone to the assembly and gotten them approved. So we have a fully functional board now. And they run independently. But I would wish for the city manager to add anything that I may have left out on that. Composition as well.
Yeah, the question on the composition was that during the audit we had included an extra person. This is a person who had resigned in between the financial year. So in our wisdom, we thought because of the financial responsibility we include, but we were guided by the auditor that if at all the members are 12, you stick with the 12. But also the governor said that we have full house, and we are operating, and we have five functions have been delegated to the city, and beside event secondment, they have been transferred because the law require them to be transferred. So that has been done. No wonder we have even the accountant who are also the CPAK registered physical planner, registered environmentalist, and as a board we are operating as a board, but operating also our own account. I think that is on why we are here. The manager is an accounting officer. That has been done. So that's what the county has done. Chair.
So your salaries and all that is paid by the city and not the county?
You run payroll, basically.
You run a payroll?
You run a payroll, basically.
No.
You don't run a payroll?
Yeah.
Do you have your own staff or they are seconded from the county?
No, staff now have been transferred. They are our own. Though the payment is being made by the county. The CEC Finance is here. Maybe he can clarify further on that.
And you collect your own revenue?
Not Chair.
Can you state to us the functions that have been given to you by the county?
So we have environmental functions within the city. We have the traffic management, development control. We have the parking, and we also have the advertisement. The 5 of them.
Who collects revenue on those functions?
The revenue is collected by the revenue collection in Nakuru is centralized.
Do you see the problem?
If you follow the county, that is the Urban Areas and Cities Act, we should also, I request to submit that we are in the process. For example, the way we started in 2020, we never had a function, we never had a budget. So it's a work in progress, and we've made some step, even having the 5 functions delegated to us. is a work in progress, and I believe that in the fullness of time, we are going to have all those functions.
Are you trying to save your job before the governor? Is that your desire? Is that your desired answer? Governor, on this, it's not because it's a city, it's not a municipality. At this point in time, if you want to grow Nakuru city, it has to be completely autonomous. Because the Urban Areas and Cities Act, and there are a number of those sections that will be read to you, they can be given to you to go and read at your own time. I don't think we need to belabor. But you cannot maximize the effectiveness of that city without allowing it to be functionally autonomous, operationally autonomous, and fiduciary autonomy. You will not maximize the effectiveness of that city. And it is always worse when talking about municipalities. It is even now, I don't know, terrible to talk about city not having that autonomy. Because what the Act contemplated is basically an agency relationship between the county government and the respective city or municipalities. But in this case, city is higher than a municipality. So what we are expecting here is that those functions that you have mentioned must be able to run completely in an autonomous way that then allows you to collect revenue, and then you agree with the county government out of the revenue that you collect, what will be the amount that will enable you run your functions as a city, and then what is the remaining amount that then you do an agency relationship by giving that money to the county, because that is what will let the county maximize its own source revenue. Then the county then becomes a policy framework for you, and also an oversight function for you to be able to see whether you're meeting your milestones, you're putting proper sprints in terms of targets to maximize those revenues. So if the county is still centralizing those, how is this city going to be effective? How are you going to compete Nairobi, Kisumu, Mombasa? Or even if you are ambitious, Governor studied in the US. Are you going to compete a good city like, the ones that you've seen in Minnesota and other places? Just give it autonomy. The more you let it go, the better off you're going to be as a county.
Senator Mbugu.
Thank you, Chair. Let me address the city manager because he's my friend. I serve in the devolution committee, and we are considering changing the matrix about awarding the charter. That after 5 years since you received the charter, nothing has happened. We are considering a way of revoking that charter. Maybe you can tell this committee, since Nakuru was awarded the city charter, what has changed? Because the devolution committee will be coming, because even the other towns which are coming to be awarded charter, we are telling them nothing's happening. You come for a charter, nothing changed, you are still operating like a municipality. Maybe you can tell this committee what has changed since Nakuru became a city. And while you are preparing to answer that, I want to put it to you that the person who is you've provided a degree to be the chairperson of that whatever city. This person called Stephen Mulingziki, supposed to have graduated in
any other issue in relation to independence? Okay, through the governor. Maybe Governor, you can respond, or you will let your manager.
No, sure. I was going to. It's good that he responds to these questions. But on a serious note, we have been progressively trying to do better, and I agree with you, Senator Eddie, that when the more autonomous they are, the more helpful they are for us. Because we have a whole big county to run. The city, they can be running the city and making sure they are very functional and operating very well. To transfer staff, so that's under them. We have actually given them those functions, and we are still going to continue to do better, and we have taken what you're saying. But I want him to respond, and I want him to do so freely. He shouldn't feel like his job is in jeopardy or anything.
Yeah, it's true.
Be calm. Your job is.
Yeah, what has changed from the municipality, one is the number of the staff that we had at the municipality. That one has changed. Initially, we used to have seconded staff that were still answerable to their mother bosses in the mother department. So that has changed, and they have been transferred to the city. The other thing I have to note is the budget. Initially, when we were becoming a municipality, our budget was less than 100 million. As we talk this year, we have 700 million. So that has really drastically changed. The other thing is the reporting structure. Even when it comes to the payment, initially we used to work mostly through the department, but that has really changed after we became a city. We've been given that autonomy that even issues to do with the city, we are able to respond to the governor directly without going through the department. And even sometimes I'm also invited to answer some questions even to the cabinet. So that tells you the seriousness they've taken the city. And the function, initially we never had a single function at the municipality. So those functions have been delegated. And the governor has confirmed, we are in the discussion even this financial year, we are going to get more function, given that we are progressively attaining that independence. So that one I can report. And also the other thing that changed is the number of the board members that we've been having. So we have more board members, and we have more projects. And also the benefit, another benefit that I will mention is that we also have more projects done by the national government that were never done to the municipality. One of the advantages we have to become a city is the national government through the State Department of the Urban Development is able to invest directly in the city. And that attests to the reason why Nairobi, Mombasa, and Kisumu, they've been benefited from this massive project that now Nakuru is benefiting from. So these are some of the changes we are having. And the Senator, I agree with you that after 5 years, Nakuru, we've made some progress, and I believe even when the committee comes, we'll be able to compile all those changes. Thank you very much.
You haven't responded to Mbogwa's issue of the degree certificate.
For the degree certificate, what we did is that we just went to the file and we took the attachment as they were brought to us. But that's an issue we are going to look into. Then
Before that is done, can I protest on that point? I think
What is your protest?
Stephen Nzuki's degree was not an audit issue. So why is it brought in here? You can see that the team behind the tent and Andres that is investigating that, but it was not an audit query.
Let me just guide. It is an audit issue. If you look at audit number 5, irregularity in the appointment of the chairperson of the city board. According to the auditor, he did not have the qualification. But now,
Chair is still insisting on protesting because the auditor did not raise that.
Chair, let me help my sister from Kitui. Chair,
are you trying to protest because of the name?
I was going there, Chair. But then again, Chair, the issue is when we start casting aspersions on authenticity of documents, especially educational documents, Chair, it is not within the purview of this committee for a member to allege that a certain degree is either valid or fake. We have state agencies that are funded ably by the state chair to do that particular function. So it is upon the EACC chair to investigate whether that degree is a fake one or not. And chair as such, my good friend Senator Mbugu is out of order, Chair. Thank you, Chair. I hope I've convinced you ably, Chair.
Yeah, you know, the manager said he just saw the attached and he did not look at it deeply. So we can give him more time to go and verify the document that is here. And he can verify that with those institutions you are talking about and advise us.
Chair, we're becoming very lenient in this committee. And it's amazing, we're very lenient. Because if the management is employing anybody, is there no requirement at competency level of being able to do your due diligence?
Chair, those are side shows.
There's no side show.
And
by the way,
this
Senator.
must be
Senator.
extracted from the records.
No,
Somebody
Senator.
mentioned that, am I protesting because of the name? I am a nationalist. And we are addressing issues here
Senator.
about Kenyans, not about Canvas.
Chair, I think you should call the
You are out of order
Senator
because,
out of order.
Your colleague was on the floor. So
I'm not only being out of the floor, there is no side show by colleague senators, Chair. And if the issue is substantive, I mean, I don't know why the senator is not seeing the grievousness of this issue when somebody has been employed with a university that was given charter in 2011. Their first graduation was 2024. And that certification says that this person graduated in 2022. I mean, 202. That's what is in the documentation here. That this person graduated from the same university in 202 before it was given a charter. I mean, will that concern anybody, not even just senators? It will concern even the governor, that is a serious issue of lack of due diligence from the management. And it's a gross violation of any employment processes. So I don't know why it becomes a personal issue. It's not a personal issue at all. In this Senate, we are very, very open-minded and very, because this is not just somebody who was given a small responsibility. He's given a responsibility with the chair to run this city. Integrity is a big component of running the city. We're talking about fiduciary responsibility in that city. And by the way, if you read the Urban Areas and Cities Act properly, Governor, the fiduciary manager, the person who is statements for which then your executive auditor is not even the city manager. And that's why I invited you to go and read this act very properly. It is the chair of the board. In fact, that's the person who should be interrogating there. And then has got serious malpractice in terms of documents that were given, and then that's a small issue. I think Governor, you should take keen interest in the running of that city. Beyond what can come out of this committee, because I don't want to advance it more than that. Chair.
Is the chair here? Is the chair of the board here? It's not here.
Must be here next time.
Yeah, proceed.
Yeah, Chair, let me also confirm that my chair has another degree also, so we just picked one. He has done one, he has the one theological degree, so we just opted to pick. So that one we can also provide, and I believe that the Council Assembly also during the vetting, they also did the same, and I can confirm that my chair is a graduate.
Yeah, but next time the chair of the board should be here because he's the main accounting officer for the city.
Guided.
Senator Amida,
No,
what
Chair.
are you laughing?
No, I was just saying you're making it worse. Just leave it up to that. I wanted to request the same what chair you had requested before, that they should be given more time so that they can look. Yes, they can provide, but then don't make it worse.
You know, it will continue being a query unless it is addressed. So my direction is that the manager, you know how degrees are verified. I think it's important for you to verify this degree with the relevant institution and share that information with the auditor. Otherwise, next year, 2024, 2025, it will still be a query.
Thank you.
It's
Guided.
gonna be a query. And then next time, make sure you verify all the documents you submit to the Senate.
Well guided.
Yeah. Because, you know, you can be held accountable for falsifying documents. That year, 2002, I was also a student at Management University, but the degrees were offered by JKUAT. Yeah, I did a master's program there. Eh? No, they were working with the JKU. So again,
Chair, as you guide on this,
yeah,
I don't like to belabor on some issues, but there are some issues that are very serious. And you know, the good thing is that governor has been a speaker. So in the way these things are approved, she has been there. She has been a senator here. When you delivered these documents to us as a Senate, they become on our files and on record. That's why you go and answer. That's why the governor takes an oath when you come to this delivering of these documents. When you say something, and the senators don't think that I'm trying to belabor this issue. There are just some serious things that we need to put in order as a committee. The moment you have given us evidence that you have given us here under oath, it's on our record. The moment you say that the person in question has got another degree in an audit query, then basically you are saying, I want to expand that out of the record and bring another degree, because we don't have that other degree here. And it's just not a light matter of just saying, here's another degree, that one, even if it is fake, it's fine. Why are you guys belaboring on this? That's not how it works here. Because the auditors have this on file with us as a parliament, that these are fake documentation. So are you saying, telling us, Governor, that you want to take out this evidence that you've given to us, that this chairperson has a fake certificate, and then replace that certification? Is that what must go on file? Because we have to be very clear, there are some very thin areas that we cannot pass. So are we saying, because you're going to write a report, are we saying that this is a fake document that you provided to this committee, it should be expunged, and then you're giving us a new certificate, for which must be in our record? Chair, I wanted your guidance on that.
Yeah.
And your ruling on that.
And that's why I've directed that the burden to prove the document is actually the manager in your team. You give us the evidence that this document is authentic by verifying with the appropriate government agency that deals with matters of certificates, and then pass that verification report to the auditor. Then the auditor can come back to us. I think all this process must be done within a month, 30 days. Now, in the event there is no verification, then we will conclude the document was fake. But let me know of the document before this process is concluded. So the burden is on the city to provide us the evidence that what they have given us is valid. And if that is not given, then we will go by the assertions of the members here. It's not valid. And that is what will go in our report. So, Manager, kazi kwako. So, honorable members, I think the issue of independency, we have discussed it for long, and we have said that I think the Council of Governors working with us, we need really to see what we need to do in the Urban Areas and Cities Act so that we have a balance, because it looks like most counties are unwilling to make these cities and municipalities independent. Because you know the reason. So we need a balance, we need an engagement, and I think the Vice Chair and myself, we have already held a tentative meeting with a consortium of managers of municipalities, which we are going to have a retreat together with the COG to discuss this matter so that we can have a balance, because I understand when county governments are unwilling to make municipalities or cities completely independent of them, because it means they carry all their own source revenue with them, and the governor will be there just as a figurehead. So we need a balance on that we have discussed. But even as we do that, the law is still there. If you don't comply, the auditor will always raise that issue in his reports. Senator Chimera, what is amusing you?
We were consulting in very low tones with my colleague that chair is seeing ahead of times.
Is it? Chair is
seeing ahead of times because you want to become governor and you are afraid.
No,
that's why you are passionately pushing for these amendments. But that's it and done. It is a fair amendment, Chair.
Yeah, not really. I think we have been here. We have interrogated almost every county on the matter of municipalities, and you see the difficulties. Because one, the donors want to give money to the municipality, but the condition is that the municipality must be independent, gazetted, must have a board, and all those transfer of services. So what they do is that they comply with that. But now the key things, independence is never done. It's just done for the purpose of getting the funds from donors, and then everything stops there. So we want to help them so that we have a balance between having functional municipalities and cities which are independent, and having governors to have some element of control. So we will be proceeding with that. So honorable members, I think let's look at Naivasha municipality quickly.
Chair, may I propose? Chair.
Yes, proceed.
Looking at this, Chair, I see that they have the same issues around independence, and we have just said the same things which we are going to say. So, Chair, I wanted to propose that perhaps we take comments that we have made on this and then do a written submission to the effect of the municipality, and then we spend more time on the water.
Okay.
Just my suggestion to the committee, because I see the same comments and I see the same adamants of Chair wanting to have this, meeting between them and the COG to make sure that this independence is stopped in anticipation of 2027. That's a letter note though, Chair. But I think it's the same. We're going to converse the same issues. They can take the same comments, but we write a proper response. A proper recommendation on the written recommendation to the governor and to the all municipalities. Then we just focus on water. I think there are more substantive issues on water.
Okay, I agree with you that most of the matters touch on independence, and the independence has been raised as a query actually. Non-compliance with the law on independence of the municipality. But in the pre-meeting, we agreed that we will have a comment on query number 1, inaccuracies in the financial statements. And I don't want us to read through the query. We will have the query with you. We just need to know who was the accountant who processed these financial statements. No, I'm asking the auditor. They can verify that from their financial statements.
Thank you, Chair. The head of finance is CPA Karanja Peter Kariuki, ISPAC member number 33117. Thank you, Chair.
Can someone check? This was CPA Karanja Peter Kariuki. You are there. ISPAC number 33117. membership status, you are active.
Yes.
And the status not in good standing.
Yes.
Why are you not in good standing?
Thank you, Chair, Your Excellency. The summon of this sitting coincided with my training, which has been approved by the board, so that I can get the remainder of the CPDs. Actually, as I'm living here, I'm also leaving to Mombasa for an ISPAC training for the entire of the week.
But you don't need to have ISPAC training to do some of the inaccuracies I'm seeing here.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, very basic inaccuracies.
Yes.
So how are you intending to resolve these inaccuracies?
Thank you, Chair, Your Excellency. Some of the inaccuracies were brought about by the prior year comparative figures, which we are rectifying, and also we have sat with the auditor and we've given out what we have done so far to rectify some of those inaccuracies, and which we are going to restate in the subsequent financial year 2024-2025.
You see, have you read, are you conversant with the Accountant Act, Section 30?
Yes, Chair.
What does it say? It says that any misstatements and errors of this nature may constitute professional misconduct.
I concur, Chair.
Yeah, so it's not a laughing matter. So this committee has decided that moving forward, we will be reporting such cases to your professional body, and you know what it means.
Yes. Yes.
So next meeting of this nature, we don't want to see this. Make sure there are no misstatements, there are no inaccuracies, there are no errors in your financial statements.
Well guided, Chair.
Yeah. Any other comments, members? Okay. So the other issues on independence applies, but maybe we can find out from Her Excellency the Governor about the independence of this municipality. What have you done so far?
Kind of similar to what we've done with the city. We've also transferred employees. We've given them a budget. We've delegated some functions. But I would wish, or rather I would want our municipal manager of Naivasha to sort of address it, and maybe he can tell us what seems different or what is different.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Again, my name is Daniel Bogo Derito, Municipal Manager Naivasha, and we are happy to be in this committee. I think our case is pretty similar to the Nakuru City scenario. The main functions that are delegated are development control and solid waste management. We also are in charge of traffic and development and also advertisements. But on top of that, I think in the current a big number of projects in the wards which are now being implemented. Projects, I think that is our the main area where it has been doing a lot, and also across other municipalities it is the same scenario. And basically we do have more staff. We started with only about 6 staff. Now I think we are close to 20 staff. So implying that with the human resource capacity, And now it is possible for the governor to download more functions, because the 3 key areas of urban areas is to have plans, which we have basically prepared, like the integrated urban development plans. We also have the spatial plans necessary, and also now the budgetary capacity, which is again also being enhanced, because Naivasha was having just close to 100 million shillings budget. Right now we are at 512 million. So I think it's a process and we are heading there. Thank you very much.
I wanted to hear about the transfer of assets, which is a query that has been raised. The transfer of motor vehicle, land, buildings, equipment, computers is still in the name of the county government.
Chair, we'll have the manager handle that as well.
Chair, I think that is also work in progress. We have attached a number of documents which including the variation of the assets, because previously we did not have the variation, and that generally across the county, which has been done through the assets departments, through the Department of Finance, and we do have an extract of that. But I can lie if I say that all the assets have been transferred to the municipality. The fact that it is it's a process, but we have our assets register, mainly the assets that we are working with. Yeah, the concept is that most of the assets that were owned by the defunct local authorities are destined to be back to the municipality. And that's why we also have attached a variation report here and an asset register, including all those assets. And I think in due course, this process will be complete. Yes.
The auditor has reported that the valuation report was not approved. So what's your comment on that?
Was it? Yeah.
So, sorry, Chair. Let us have, if you don't mind, the CEC for Finance would be better placed to answer that.
CEC Finance.
Thank you, Chair. The valuation for both the movable and fixed asset was being done through in conjunction with the counties and the Devolution Ministry and ITGRC.
So any comment from members? Bogwa?
Thank you, Chair. Just a clarification, Manager. By the time of audit, can you confirm that we are working with only 4 staff in your payroll?
Yeah, through Your Excellency, I think I cannot confirm and I cannot deny. What was happening is that these were the only staff that were directly in the payroll of the in the payroll budget of the municipality. So implying that any other person that was in the municipality was on secondment, so that they were now appearing in the Department of Finance, but he's an accountant in the municipality. That is the process that has been fast-tracked. So now we have close to 20 staff, because those ones, most of them have now been transferred to the municipality, including our accountant here. He was in the Department of Finance, but right now he has been transferred to the municipal board. So that was the scenario that led us to be having only 4 staff, because they were close to 10, but others now moved out. So we came down to 4, but the scenario was that those others were actually acting or seconded in the municipality. Thank you.
Any other question, Senator Eddy?
Chair, mine would just be a job of mine to the managers of these municipalities. Perhaps if I ask you, what has been your biggest challenge as a manager of Naivasha municipality in the last 1 year? You as a manager.
Well, we started
one challenge.
Yeah, we started with a few staff, and it's difficult to work without a number of staff, especially the key staff. I could be very competent, but without HR capacity, it was a bit challenging. I believe when we have good staff, even without a big budget, there are many things we can still do which don't require a huge budget. But I think staffing was a challenge.
Yeah, that I'm asking that because of what Senator Mbugua asked. Just say running your payroll has been the biggest challenge, so that the governor can see why we insist on payroll being run by you, because payroll is a functional element of how you run the budget. This budget doesn't just come. A budget is a translation of your functions combined with the HR, right? So when you can't predict when somebody will be secondary to you or not, and you have got only a payroll that is running 4 staff, you really can't work. Yeah? And I saw that because there is the same issues. There is no operational autonomy. There is functions given to you, but there is no operational autonomy and there is no fiduciary autonomy, financial autonomy. This is your biggest challenge. And Governor, I don't want to put the manager under duress, because I know that you understand what I'm talking about when I talk about these issues of autonomy. And by the way, Governor, us as a committee, we have been fighting for you at the same level that now these municipalities and cities are fighting. When we were in the meeting with the national government in finance and budget where I sit, when we asked them to allow for WSPs to get autonomy from waterwork agencies, you know what they were telling us? That you governors don't have capacity on engineers who can be able to run water functions in counties, despite the fact that it's fully devolved. So the same fight that we are fighting for you, now we want to fight between you and the municipalities. I mean, I think that then it becomes so unfair for us as senators to sit and watch. Apart from the conflict of interest of the chairperson, which is understandable, but the good thing,
you are out of order.
the good thing is I'm actually in order, because the good thing is that he himself last 2 weeks signed a conflict of interest bill, which will catch up with him when he goes to the county. He will not be able to effect these changes. So just make sure that you give these counties, these municipalities and cities autonomy, and then we will be able to move better. There's no way around it. I think it will just serve you better. The same way we believe that you will serve the country better if all the functions that are devolved functions are given to you as governor, and not only that, all the subsequent finances that comes with them that are required under the law are also given to you. We believe you build the capacity, but they need to be given out to you first.
Yes, Senator Amida.
Yeah. Chair, just regarding the public properties, there's a lot of grabbing of public lands. Public land. So I was just asking, what safeguards have you put in place? Then also, how sure are we that the public properties don't end up in private hands as you're during that process? But then also to the governor, these assets, do you ever think that they'll be fully transferred to the municipalities? Those are my questions, Chair.
Chair, we'll start with the managers and then I'll do mine.
Yeah, I think the function of LAD is also important as in Naivasha as in any other areas. I think what the board is doing right now is to do an inventory of the public land that is existing. We did have the inventory that was created some times back, but right now we are trying to update. Otherwise, we are not fully doing exclusively outside the Department of Lands. We have the CC in charge of lands who is also helping us. But as we are at the stage in which we are, we do find that most of the land that is existing in Kihika, Naivasha, most of the land that surrounds us is institutional land, like KWS, GK prisons, and so forth and so on. But we do have pockets of subdivided farms, which were big farms, and they did cede some land, or to some extent, it's not very clear. That's what we are doing, so that we can have that one and be able to have some land bank for the future. we are in the process. That's it.
Through the chair, Senator's question is really valid, especially a lot of our public land. I'm not sure if it's the same thing across the country in other counties, but for some reason, we have had to fight a lot to get public land back to us as a county, because people just grab land and make it private. I mean, we've even had cases where people have grabbed land from the police station. We've had cases where some of our religious institutions have grabbed public land, so it's a bit dicey sometimes. But what we have done, we've had some hospitals grabbed by individuals. So it's a continuing issue. It's a serious issue, but we are working very hard to push back and make sure that what belongs to the public comes back to the public. In fact, there are places you go, you want to put up a market, you want to put up a hospital, but the only public land that was in that area has since been grabbed, and actually buildings have come up and all that. So it's a big problem, but I hope eventually over time we work together with you as Senate to help us in this recovery, plus the other institutions, because it's not an isolated case and it's all over the county. As far as the transfer of assets back to the municipality, as the CEC had earlier said, we are working on that process of verifying this asset register. After that, doing valuation on these assets, and we will be transferring them to the municipalities or to those different municipalities. Actually, we have about 3 and a few upcoming. Yeah, so we are going to be doing that across the county.
Okay, honorable members, I think you have all the responses for every query. The issues in municipality are similar because of the issue of independence. So we will stop there on a matter of municipalities and cities. And the team that is coming in is from water companies. As they settle down, I will give you 3 minutes healthy break. Strictly 3 minutes. Yeah, see the one, it's a big team.